everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I know it's been kind of a quiet week from me. It has been a very busy work week and also a bit of a busy life week too. Just lots of stuff going on. But today is just kind of like a simple, let's just create some stuff. I'm working on ephemera today for kind of a dark and woodsy journal. And so that's what I'm planning to do. So if you want to get some stuff together and just craft along, art along, make along with me, then that would be awesome. So I've just been kind of working on a couple of things, and so I thought, why not turn on the camera? So I've had a very busy work week. I have just had a lot of things to get done, and I'm kind of still in catching up mode from vacation and a week of like sort of a training session sort of thing, and yeah. And then my son decided to do a little bit of a nosedive off of his bed, and so we had to do a little ER trip yesterday. That was way terrifying for me, but he needed 3 little stitches in his eyebrow, and it was extremely scary. And you know, all these things with babies, like I don't know, it takes a while to toughen up as a parent. I don't know, it's just one of those things, but he's fine. He was honestly barely fazed about it, but he did need some stitches, the poor little thing. It was a weird freak accident. It was like he was playing on his bed and he just kind of lost his footing, and there's a little play barn on the floor, and so when he fell, he just managed to just catch his eyebrow on like the sort of, not quite the corner, but something like the eaves trough kind of area of the barn. It was like the weirdest freak accident, but he is barely fazed about it. But mom was really having a heart attack, so I've lost one of my 9 lives in that whole ordeal. Children, they know how to keep you on your toes, that's for sure. So I am just trying to get some ephemera done. I'm trying to finish up a couple of projects that are happening for me in the background, and so I can get started on some new stuff. So that's what I'm working on. So this is kind of a cool image, and I've been cutting up some really nice art magazines. I actually got a really cool book today. I'll show it to you. Oops. My donation at our local recycle center, I found this book, which is really nice. It's called Botanical Riches, Stories of Botanical Exploration by Richard Aitken. And it's a really interesting book. Like, I think I might read it first before I cut into it, but it's definitely really beautiful. It's got a lot of really interesting images in it. I'm really all about the botanical images, so yeah, lots of cool stuff, and it was a nice book to find. Yeah. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do my weekly wrap-up this week. I don't have a whole lot to wrap up. I haven't gotten much finished. I'm a little bit behind on, I've got to finish my Anne Brooke Challenge tags. My tag from last week, I've got it half done, but I'm going to finish it, and then I've got to get started on this week's, which is making a tag using what Anne refers to as an ort. I don't know the meaning, like if the term is official or if it's just kind of her term, but it's basically we were supposed to keep any excess threads that we end up having from doing stitching projects, and it's just kind of this really fun tangly looking stitched down texture on a tag. So I'm going to try to work on that one, but I first need to finish my previous week, which is a woven wheel and a spider wheel. So it's half done. I will show them to you once they're done. And from my last video, the boiled book, so the paper, we've had rain all week, so the paper's drying inside. It's probably dry by today. It takes a little longer to dry inside, so maybe I can show that also in my wrap up. But yeah, it's kind of been one of those, I want this to be very dark on the back, kind of been one of those weeks of just I don't know. It's one of those weeks where it just feels like your life is not in your control. It's just, whew. Okay, so I'm going to stitch around this, so I will set it aside. Maybe now I'm going to do it right now, but I won't keep you, so I'm just going to pause for 1 second. Okay, so this is all stitched. I also stitched around another tag that I made a little bit ago. I don't know if I'll use it in this journal or not, but it's done. Okay, I think I will plunk that right in there. Okay. Then, what do I want to do on this side of this page? I think I do want to do one more thing over here. I think I want to use like a sticker though. Here we go. That's what I want. Some kind of like a celestial theme. And I will just peel this. Hopefully it won't be, yeah, these ones aren't hard to peel, thankfully. So it's another rainy day. I don't know what I plan to do for the rest of the weekend. I was really hoping to work in my garden because it is so overgrown because of all the rain, but not going to happen today because, again, the rain. So we've had a lot of crazy weather patterns around here in a local, another city not too far from here, maybe a couple of hours, not even, maybe an hour and a half. They had a tornado, which is just kooky. The weather's getting a little bit crazier these days. Okay, so that is the end of the signature that I'm working on. I think, yeah, it looks good to me. Okay. So I'll put this in the book. 22222. Okay. Next signature. All right, let's see what we want to do. So this is some of my eco-printed paper, and it's got nice rusty cogs on it, and then the back you can really see these were like long leaves. I forget what plant this was, but they were really long leaves. So I don't want to do a whole lot to this page just because I think it's very pretty. So maybe I will use this tag because it's kind of an ode to the fact that I eco-printed. And then I think I want some kind of like a dark, not dark, but like a poem that's a little bit like morose or something. Just kind of a darker feel, which is the general feel of this journal that I'm working on. Okay. I wouldn't say morose, but like just kind of dark arts, dark kind of. I'm just going to trim a little from the bottom here and on the side. Just neatening up my edges. Okay, so let's see what poetry I have handy. I think I've got old poetry, which I've included a little bit already, but I might take a look in here. Okay, there's a nice one. I really like using this Rupi Kaur book. Her poetry is pretty amazing, and she's also a local author, a local poet, so I really enjoy using her work in my journals because she is really cool. And She's got a poem for so many things. Just kind of want to have a little bit neater of a torn edge on both sides if possible. Where is my, there it is. My metal ruler. This plastic ruler does not cut it for easy tearing. Okay, that's better. So then I think what I want to do is just kind of grunge up the edges of this a little. And this is a nice poem. It says, "The moon is responsible for pulling tides out of still water, darling. I am the still water and you are the moon." And on the back, "The right one does not stand in your way. They make space for you to step forward." And if you've never read Rupi Kaur, her book, The Sun and Her Flowers, is a really beautiful collection of poetry, as are all of her books. She really kind of explores the gamut of the human condition and emotions and all of that kind of thing. So she's a really interesting and trying to think of the word, but I don't know what word I could use to describe her. Engaging, definitely. Okay. I'm just going to clip those on here, and that's actually all I want to do with this page. I just want to let it be maybe a tab. Yeah, because we haven't put a tab on this yet, so let's do a tab. Maybe this would be nice. I've almost completely gotten through this entire doily. I've been carefully snipping into bits and bobs. Okay. I think I'll do it on this side, and I want it right about there. So I'm actually going to put some Fabri-Tac down, and then I'm going to stitch on top of it. So I'm just going to do a little Fabri-Tac to just hold it in place where I want it. There we go. Okay, 1 second, I'm just going to stitch. Okay, so that is stitched on. I'm going to trim these strings a little bit. Okay, now this page, I want it for this, but the back needs to be covered. I'm also this week working on using up old fabric from children's clothing and just old textiles that I'm recycling. So I think I'm actually going to make a tag with that and then think about what I want to do with this page. I think I'll probably cover it maybe in nice avocado dyed paper or something. But first I'm going to just see what I can do with this. This little tank top. I tie-dyed a bunch of tank tops years ago for my dogs, my little tiny dogs. And many, many years ago, like 15 years ago or more. And I only have, well, I still have the dog that I tie-dyed these for, but he has, he amassed a giant wardrobe for a long time, and then now he's an older dog, and I don't bother to dress him up these days because he's like not in the mood. Although he does love clothing. That's the funny thing about him, is he was always like that. Like I wasn't even, I mean, I definitely had these kind of visions about having a Chihuahua that I could dress up because they're just so darn cute, but I didn't want to be like annoying about it. But he actually was probably the best dog I could have asked for if I wanted a dog that enjoyed like costumes, because he loved t-shirts especially so much that he would see you pull a t-shirt or sweater out of the bin of his clothes and he would start wagging his tail furiously, and he would rush over and he would actually poke his head right through the hole for the head, and then he would lift each leg to put his legs through the holes. And he was so cozy, and he still likes to be cozy in a shirt when he's just hanging out. So I'm just going to recycle some of this tie-dyed fabric. I have done so much decluttering this like past couple weeks too. I donated an entire like trunk load of stuff today, and I have a bunch more to go. I'm just trying to just find the time to like do it all. I also need to sew. I have a bunch of sewing to do. I need to sew a bunch of dresses for my daughter because she has had a growth spurt, and she's so tall that like a lot of clothes that are made for her age group, they're way too short. So she's going to be, I think, towering over me pretty soon. They grow too fast. And I have been buying so many shoes. I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm like, holy, how much more can these kids' feet grow? Quite a bit, apparently. So I'm going to make a tag with that. I think it actually would go really nicely in this journal. I'm just going to take this scrap glue page. And then let's see how that goes. The size of this makes sense. Yep, okay. I think I will back it with this purple. Trying to think of what else I can talk about from this week. It's just been kind of an uneventful one. I've been having like the vacation bug, and I was thinking about like going away for a little bit in August maybe, but I'm having a lot of trouble finding good accommodations. So I don't know, because I'm not trying to go like really far. I just was thinking a little place with water might be nice. And yeah, everybody is doing the same thing right now, so it's hard to find anything to do. But that's okay. Just thinking of reaching out to some friends that we like to travel with and seeing if they want to do something, but we'll see. Everybody has a lot going on right now, so I don't want to be like overwhelming anybody. Oh, these are not fabric scissors. There we go. I'm just trying to trim this excess off here because I'm going to stitch around this. That's why I just used glue stick to affix it, because I will also be stitching it on. Okay. Then I'm probably going to put some kind of ribbon on top too. Thinking like that could be cool, and then I'll put some kind of a focal point once I get it stitched around. So I'll be right back. Okay, so this is all stitched around, and I actually was thinking the colors of this kind of gave me a bit of a celestial vibe, so I just added like some of my eco-printed fabric here to just be like a little moon on this tag. And I'm trying to decide if I need to do anything else with it here. I think I just want to ink up the back once I get all these stringies off. Okay. We took my daughter out today, both my kids actually, to a local little tiny mall that sort of almost no one goes to. And it was a nice little jaunt. It's the mall that my daughter used to love to go to, like before this worldwide situation, and she used to have a blast there, and so we took her today and she really enjoyed it. I feel really good about the fact that like I can take her to some kind of quiet places because the numbers are so low, and she's really good about wearing her mask, so I feel really lucky that way, that I can like let her have some experiences. It's really nice. And we saw an employee that used to work at one of our local thrift stores that's kind of gone a little weird, and so we were happy to see that she had a new job working at the mall in a really beautiful store actually. So it's gonna add a little bit of ink here on this fabric. Okay, so there's a tag done. Now I need to sort out what I want to do with that page. And I think I have right here some avocado dyed paper or coffee dyed paper. Maybe both. I actually just bought a bunch of avocados to do some more avocado dyeing because I'm getting low. I'm trying to use up scrap paper that I've dyed. I want something with a bit of streaky. Yeah, that's good. Streakiness to it. Okay. So I think I'll cover one side with this paper. The things that my daughter chose to buy at the mall today were very funny. She got a slinky and a water shooter for the pool, and a little color changing kind of mood bracelet. It's kind of funny to watch her shop after like not really having shopped for 2 years, and that she was only 2 years old when she would go to the mall, and now she's 4 and she's a totally different person now. So okay, I want to do the same thing and maybe just give myself a white base, like a coffee dyed base. Yeah, I think I do. I was thinking of making like some notes about what to do when you're getting started with a white page, like how to start getting a little inspired. Might be a good idea. Oops. Okay, I think I want to create like a clustery kind of pocket on at least on one of these pages, but maybe all the way across would be kind of cool. Like, and I want to make it with this paper from, I forget the name of this, like, this pad of paper, but it's, I actually got it at a Michael's store. And it's kind of like collage paper, but it's all in these different little kind of card-sized bits. This. I finally have almost finished the next segment to the imagination blanket, so I'm hoping to get the last little bit of stitching done today, and then I will photograph it and film a video really super soon. Just gotta even this side out. Okay, so I'm thinking it's kind of like layering these up at the bottom in kind of a random pattern, and then making, like, gluing them together, making them into a pocket on each side that goes together. Sorry, I'm off camera here. There we go. Yeah, maybe like that. So let's get this out of the way. Then I gotta glue these down together to make them like one cohesive thing. So I'll just keep this like this, grab this one. That'll still be there. Yep. Okay. It's also record store day this week, and like I think it's on maybe today, if not it's tomorrow, record store day. So I was thinking maybe tomorrow I would go up and check out my favorite record store. Did I put that? I think I did put that underneath. I think I want that underneath so we can see the whole hand. There we go. There we go. And I'll leave it a little longer than that one. And I just have to check the width. I went a little over, so we got to go a little bit closer together here like that. Yeah, because we don't want a gap there anyways. We don't want the text showing. Because this book is like, this glue book I'm using, it's like a farming book. Nothing to do with the theme of the journal. There we go. There we go. All right, that's the first side. Freeform pocket, fun. And this one. This one, I think, how did I have it? I think I chose to leave a little gap, which isn't necessary. Maybe, yeah, I'm not going to leave a gap. Okay. Okay, so then this one will go here like that. So I think I'm going to stitch both of these, stitch around both of them, and then I will be right back. I got cut off there. I don't know where I left off, but anyways, I stitched these pockets on, or I stitched them and then I glued them on, and then I popped that in there, and then I've just pulled out a few more things that I want to use to make ephemera to stuff the pockets with. So first I found this really big image that I love. It's out of a Canadian art magazine from 2005, and I just think it's very kind of mysterious, and it fits in with the overall feeling of this journal. So I'm going to back the whole thing with some nice dyed paper. Let me just grab some paper. I'm going to use avocado dyed paper. Just over here. So we'll just pump this on. I'm thinking of doing a video of like this fun thing I've been doing lately, but I haven't even been filming it. It's just I had bought all of these vintage Canadian art magazines. Like, they're not really vintage, they're just kind of old, like 2005, early 2000. And I've just kind of been going through the entire magazine and like plucking out what I want to use from it. But like, because it's an art magazine, there's a lot of really interesting and totally like thematically all different kinds of things that you find in such a magazine. That's crooked. That's so crooked. Okay, let's actually just lay this page down and then lay this one on top of it. It's a little easier here. Yeah, so I was thinking that could be, I did it again. That could be kind of interesting is to do. To sort of share with you how I go through the process of deciding what I'm going to use. All right, are we covered now? Can we be covered now? Yes, we are covered now. I have a little thread falling on my lap. Okay. Then I'm just going to use actually scissors to just trim, and I kind of want to leave this like magazine edge where the paper is kind of like tattered from being torn out of the finely stitched binding. I mean, really, even then the avocado border is kind of nice, but I just want to even it up. And I'm definitely going to stitch all the way around that, but I'm just going to wait because I want to make a few more things, as I'll have to do some stitching on all of them. So let's just set that aside and set our page aside here. then all these things I want to make. So I've got 2 things that I want to cut out. This one. And then this one, it's just kind of like a lonely dock in the fog. So I gotta thicken those up with some book page here. Oops. This one. I'll have to find some nice words to put on there. Sorry if I'm kind of quiet today. I totally am noticing I'm a little quiet. I'm just tired, I think. Just tired. But I thought it's been a little bit since I've done just kind of like a hangout with me and make stuff video. And so this is just kind of a relaxing what's on my desk kind of video. And then I'm hoping, I don't know what this week's gonna look like with work. I do have still a bunch of stuff I need to do because, long story. But if it's not too bad, I'll probably have some time. And I will get started on the Where the Wild Things Are journal. That's kind of my plan, but I'm also working on 2 other journals in the background that I need to get going on. The cast pools of shadows along the forest trail, maybe. I so wish I still had, like, I used to have, I had this really old book that had nice big words. And I've used almost all of them, and I totally want more. Maybe The Turn of the Tide would be nice. Yeah, I think that's nice. Okay, so glue this down. And then this one I'll put Magicians and Sorcerers. Okay, oops. And we need to back those. It's too big. And that's ready to be stitched and inked. And then we need paper to back this one. Oh, I've got this nice cabbage dye. I think that'll look nice on the back. And it's nice and sort of sturdy, good sturdy paper. I was going to try doing some dyeing with some green cabbage to see what happens. I dye with red cabbage because that's where you get your nice blue tones. But what I've noticed about dyeing with cabbage is it also, I don't know, it changes the makeup of the paper in a different way that I really like. And so I was thinking of just giving it a try and seeing what happens. Not anticipating this bluey green tone that I get from normal cabbage dyeing, but maybe something else will happen, who knows. Okay, so then I also want to pop this in there, and I'm not going to back it in anything. I want to include both of these vintage owls. This one, I just want to ink the backs of these little pieces because they are cute as is. They don't need a lot going on, but just to kind of give them a little age to just match the rest of the journal. That's mostly like vintage stuff, and get rid of that. Okay. This is kind of cool. This is a digital. I forget who I got this from. It might be either Antique Papery or Digital Collage Club. St. Cobb's Oil. That's just from like a mushroom book. Okay, so now I'll stitch around these. I'll be right back and we'll put the whole page together, and that'll probably be a video. So give me 1 second. Okay, so everything is stitched now. Let me just cut these all apart. I found this extra card that I stitched around that I actually made the other day. I don't know if I'll use it in this journal, but I figured I would finish it up. These two need to get inked. This one does not. Okay. So let's start to put these pages together. So let me see, by folding this in half, perfect. This can go in here like so. This, I think I'll put over. Oh, I have to ink these first. Hold on. This one actually, it doesn't need much in the way of ink because it's cabbage dyed on the back, and I don't really want to cover it up much. I'll just kind of grunge the edges up a little. There. The little one though does need a little bit because it's, well, it's coffee dyed too, so it's not that, it's not white. Okay, done and done. So pop this one, the Turn of the Tide, in here. Move this out of the way. Then in here we want maybe this little, I'm actually going to stick this one in here, the Magicians and Sorcerers. And then this one in here, this one in here. Okay, so that's all made up nicely, and it's not that thick. It's certainly like a more decorated, you know, page set, but the back isn't. It's just plain, so I'm really happy about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So we will add that to our signature here. That will be page 2 of these signatures, and I will plunk the rest of that in there, and that is it for today. So thank you for joining me on a little bit of ephemera making. I will be back soon. I don't know about this weekend. I'll try to do something else this weekend. And yeah, I hope everyone is well and you're taking care of yourself, and I will see you next time. So have a lovely day. Thank you. Bye for now.